This is how a husband and wife team built an award winning business with no experience. If you want to see how, tune in.
Hey everyone, welcome to Grace and Alignment, where faith meets business and marriage meets mission.
We're JW and Sissy, husband and wife team, navigating entrepreneurship, partnership, and purpose.
On this channel, we'll be sharing genuine conversations about working with your spouse, building business that's rooted in God, and keeping your marriage strong through it all. On this episode, we're going to be discussing how we built an award winning mobile detail business with no experience, no budget, and no investors, really no plan. Michael
None,
didn't have a plan.
not a one.
And also, I want to just say that I wasn't involved probably for the first 2 years of the business.
It
And
was all me.
so, what was your first start? How did you?
Well, I used my existing job that I had, so I was using that as an investor to start the business. So, what I started with was a 1988 Astro van. Didn't know what was going to go in it, how anything was going to work, and it was $1,200 what I started with. If anybody know anything about an Astro van, especially a 1988, it was an older
And I
van.
want to kind of stop for a second or pause for a second because what year that you started so they can kind of see like how old the van was.
Okay. Well, I started in 2011.
Okay.
So with 2011 and a 1988 Astro van. So everything was by the grace of God. I still remember the experience of picking the van up and it barely made it to our house, and like I said, I spent numerous hours trying to figure out what was going to go in it, how it was going to work, with no experience, no help or anything from going out to do mobile detailing business. So it was it was only by the grace of God for me
Did you
to
have any help with um, putting the equipment or whatever you needed in the van?
no, I didn't. So I had to figure out a lot of that stuff on my own just from working with it, playing with it.
And so I
So
want to, just ask a question, um, for the audience because did you so in 2011 I know YouTube was around, but did you have like
no,
any type of go-to
no,
videos?
no videos, no YouTube, and it was just hands on, me figuring out and just learning things on my own. Of course, I've used some equipment where I worked at, but it wasn't the type of equipment that I
Would
put
be
in the van.
positioned for mobile.
Yeah, for mobile.
Hmm.
So everything that I had that I used at the job that I had, it was on the wall or automatic car wash and stuff like that. So I had to figure out how I was going to use this equipment that I purchased. Even when I purchased it,
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly
So,
what was going to go where and how it was going to work all together.
so I guess were you equipping the van while you were still
Yes. While I was still
working?
working, I was equipping the van. I just remember a lot of late nights in the garage, working on it and trying to figure things out, which you didn't know what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just up late, and knowing that I had to be at work early
Yeah.
morning, but still it was by the grace of God.
Okay.
And it was persistence for me to continue because I knew what I wanted to do. And now we have 6 mobile units and one company car
Yeah.
that we use for the company car. We use it for business meetings.
Mm-hmm.
If sometimes it be to take the mobile guys lunch or something, or whatever the office team may need to use it for.
So, with the purchase of the units, was it easy to purchase them? Like, tell a little bit about
No,
like
no, it
how they were
it
done.
wasn't easy.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you bootstrapping it, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we had to save and then purchase, and then once we purchased a van, of course, a lot of times it was one van at a time.
Yeah.
We still had to equip the van on the inside, and a lot of people may not know it's a lot that goes with equipping a van,
Yeah.
because when you're doing something mobile, when we go to a client's house, we don't need anything but just the client's keys. We have everything that we need equipped on the inside of the van
Mm-hmm.
once we get there to do what we need to do.
Yeah.
So, and it's good when you show up, and a lot of clients, they always ask, "Well, do you need anything from us?" So it's a great feeling to be able to tell them, "No, I just need your keys. Even I really don't need your keys if you just leave it unlocked too,
Mm-hmm.
so we can do the
Yeah.
service that we need to do for
Yeah.
you." So
So when I joined the business, like 2 years in after he had been kind of side hustling it,
yeah,
even though he had left his job, it
yeah,
was still to me a side hustle. And the reason I say that, I could, as a outsider looking in, I could see that there was no admin. Like, he was the guy that had pressure washer in one hand and the phone in the next, answering the call. And I really didn't know how the calls were coming in, or why the calls were coming in, because I didn't know what he was doing. So I noticed that, he needed help with the admin. We needed to set
yeah,
it up. It was already set up legally first, but it needed to be, branded. It needed
right,
to be marketed,
yeah,
So we introduced, Google, and,
yeah,
but we still did everything on our own. So I
yeah.
was
We did,
the person that answered the phone, the person that did payroll, the
yeah,
person that did flyer marketing.
yeah,
I was everything except, the physical technician,
yeah,
you know, person, and
yeah,
he kind of did the other.
yeah.
And then,
So
gradually bought on,
yeah,
one or two employees here and there,
yeah,
just to kind of help. Yeah.
yeah. So it really changed when you came aboard. With a lot of what I used to do was I used to write down everything, you know, take the payments and everything. Everything was all on what I knew how to do, but you came in and you really simplified a lot of the stuff that we done. All the writing down went away. The house call pros come into effect. You
Yeah. The
know, the
software.
the software, the
Yeah.
phone calls, wasn't directed to me all the time.
Mhm.
You help with that, and then eventually you help with, getting the office team. So everything just is changed drastic for the better for the business. That's when I seen a lot more of the professionalism with the business when you came aboard.
So I just want to go back a little bit, and you said you took the payments. Like, what kind of payments? What did you do for payments out there in the field?
A lot of the payments was cash
Cash.
payments. So I would take the cash payments,
And today we're
a
pretty
lot of,
much almost 98% a cashless
yeah,
business.
we're a cashless business. So all of that stuff, and it was a drastic change when you came aboard.
But it still took years. It
It took
still,
years.
a couple of years because I was coming on top of someone that wrote everything down in like a little school college binder thingy or
Yeah,
whatever.
the addresses, everything.
Yeah, and he
Now,
had his system, and
yeah,
I didn't understand his system
yeah,
because I don't like a lot of paper.
yeah.
So
And now we just click on the job, and it take you straight to the job to where I'm sometimes I had to print out stuff for certain places because I when I moved to Charlotte, I didn't know a lot about places in Charlotte
right,
like you did.
yeah,
So, a lot of the stuff I had to print it off and just try to follow through
hmm,
the maps and stuff like
yeah,
that to figure out where I was going until I
yeah.
got used to different sides of Charlotte and knowing a little bit about it. But, you know, I'll say it again. When you came aboard, it was a God sent thing.
Yeah, because I think some people think, "Oh, wow, you got this," but I think when you kind of look inside the business,
Yeah.
it's always good to go back and reminisce on the starting times and all the,
Yes.
things that you can laugh about now.
Yeah, I know. It's
It's
a
a
lot
lot.
too.
It's a lot you can laugh about. Wow,
It's a
we
lot.
were these people. How did this happen? Um, and I think you need to do that every now and then within your business.
Yeah.
Things just don't happen overnight. And
Yeah.
as I said before, we're still learning, we're still growing, we're still scaling. So
Yeah.
there's still lots more for us to learn.
It is. 2 years into the business, I did sit down and write a one-page business plan. And on the business plan, it had that I wanted 5 vans, and I only had the one, so I couldn't see how I was gonna get to having 5 mobile vans.
Yeah, and I think in life sometimes when we focus on what we don't have, that kind of blocks your blessing a little
Yes.
bit. And when you start focusing on what you do have
Yeah.
and what you're working towards, that's when everything changed. And I think
Yes.
once we did that, it just shifted something in us, and it kind of brings to mind a Bible verse that
Yes.
I wanted to talk about or read.
Yeah.
Luke 16:10. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. I just
Yes.
wanted to read that very first part.
That's a great verse.
I
That's right.
mean, and that's not a verse that people has not heard before. That's a
Right.
popular verse.
Yeah.
So a lot of times that's how God, blesses you.
He does.
The award came as a huge surprise, the middle of last year. And like I said on the video prior, it was the Consumer Choice Award
Yes.
that I never even thought about. So it just came as a big surprise. So how did it make you feel
I was
when
super,
we were notified?
super excited. I really couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke or something. I
Yeah,
did,
I
really,
I did
truly,
too.
I did. When
I
when we
did too.
got it, I
Yeah,
did.
I
Cause,
did too.
cause thinking, what we had when we started. I know we do great work and we was
Hmm.
persistent at everything that we do because we really set the bar high with the employees and stuff that we
Hmm.
have. It's just who we are.
Hmm.
So once
Yeah.
we knew and we got the award, I was so excited. Couldn't believe it, but I
So
was excited.
I I think for me with the award, I you know I never thought, okay, we're a mobile detailing
Yeah.
business, as well as we do mobile oil changes as well.
Yes.
I'm looking at like awards go to like different type of industries,
Yeah.
construction maybe,
Yeah.
dealerships,
Yeah.
real estate individuals,
Yeah.
but never a car cleaning
I
business.
know.
But that was emotional for me,
Yeah.
because just to see him out there in our garage, you know, 15 some odd years ago and looking, I'm like, I don't know what
What
he's
is he
doing.
doing?
Right. So, and just to see when, I came aboard to help him, we everything that we do, we want to do it excellence.
Yes.
Now, we're not perfect,
No, we're not.
but I saw a little difference with our company if you can just add excellent customer service.
Yeah.
If you can add, you know, um, live person to take the calls,
Yeah.
schedule the appointments, to be the liaison with the
Yeah.
clients, and the field team. And it's little things like that that other companies may take for granted,
Right.
but I'll still see businesses that are similar to us, and that guy has that pressure washer in his hand and the phone in the other,
That
and
that was me.
that was him. And a lot of times that's the business, that's kind of that service
Yeah.
based business when you're starting out, but you got to start somewhere,
Yeah.
so yeah, so this is our second year winning the award,
Yes.
as
That's
well as
great.
another award we won. So, in all, we've won three
Yeah.
awards. So we don't, don't fuss and don't complain about small
Yeah.
beginnings. Don't miss those small beginnings.
So, because all of it started from a 1988 Astro in our garage.
It did.
So,
It did.
in closing, don't wait till you know everything or till you have everything or until you have all the money that you need to start a business. So, if you keep God first, pray, and just talk to Him about the things that you want, the
Hmm.
things that you may need to start a business. If you keep Him out front, He will bless you with it, and He will give you the right words
Hmm.
and everything that you need to be able to start it and move forward with it too.
Yeah.
So,
So, if you enjoyed our story today of encouragement, please
like
like and
and
subscribe.
subscribe.
And we will be uploading videos each Sunday afternoon. Thank you. See you next time.
Next time.